Silent Hill is a series that immediately carved a place in the burgeoning survival horror genre, coming out with a trilogy of games between 1999 and 2003 that stand tall as some of the best the genre has ever produced. But from there, it quickly descended downwards, each title becoming less and less relevant until 2012, when the final entry, Book of Memories, landed on the best handheld ever known to man, the PlayStation Vita. It's been 12 long years of waiting, and Silent Hill is back. Silent Hill, the short message, is a signal of intent, a showing to the fans that the days of Silent Hill living in the fog of memory are over. But how does it fare? Well, in this review, I'll be detailing what works, what doesn't, and if a short message is worth your time. And just a quick note, due to the length of the game, I'm keeping this one spoiler free. Now let's dive in. The short message sees us take control of Anita, a student in Kettenstadt, Germany, who receives a text message to meet her friend Maya at an abandoned apartment block. One which has become synonymous with suicide as young girls throw themselves off the top floor. What begins as a simple meetup soon leads into a journey into Anita's psyche, detailing how her past actions have contributed to the death of a friend, and without overcoming her past trauma, she won't be able to accept herself. The game reveals this plot in a way that's both familiar and new to Silent Hill. For the most part, it's told through file pickups which document the history of Kettenstadt, as well as shedding background on Anita and her friends' lives. Each document builds on what came before to slowly drip feed a complete tale, and this then reaches a crescendo with a live action scene that twists the story down new avenues. This approach splits the game into chapters, with each one tackling a portion of Anita's character, from the pressures of social media and a need to be noticed, to bullying and child neglect. It's a game that isn't afraid to wade into deep waters, and for me, I found it delivered on nearly all of its themes. For most of us, we can relate to someone who struggled with these issues in the past, or if it's not someone else, it could be speaking to us directly. As a creator, I felt the pressures that come from a sense of validation, but fortunately, I came to that much later in life, and so to me, it was just water off a duck's back. For kids growing up with the image of social media as an extension of themselves, the pressure to keep up with the false idealized version of reality is exhausting. And without being able to identify through life experience that what you're seeing is nothing more than a facade, it can create expectations that are simply unobtainable, leading to a feeling that you're never quite good enough. That is the first stage on the journey for Anita. It's something that unfortunately I feel that many people will relate to, and with the game focusing so much on the written word, it is able to leave the player to ruminate on the material, to get the mind racing, and by the time the game wraps some 2 hours later, I'd be amazed if something here doesn't resonate. For me, it was learning of Anita's childhood and the relationship with her mother. Since becoming a parent, stories that delve into this space really hit home, affecting me on a level which I simply couldn't relate to till I became responsible for another's well-being. To get an emotional response that had a real impact is worth praising in any medium, but especially when it elicits this feeling from a 2-hour gaming experience. It's super well done. Gameplay-wise, it's pretty basic. Set in first person, on first inspection you'd think this would be a PT-esque experience, but in reality, it couldn't be more different. PT is unsettling from the off. The more loops around the corridors, the more uneasy you become. It then peppers changes throughout to never ease the building tension, continuing to ramp until you either walk away from pure terror or manage to solve its complex sequence of events to reach a conclusion. The short message may be in first person, but it immediately feels very different. It's slow by design. leaving the player to ingest each document as you move towards a new truth. And then when you go to leave that area, you notice it. The saving sign. And you know you're in for something. Then it appears. Covered in cherry blossom, this monster chases you as you move from door to door. Avoiding areas which slow you down, unsure of where to go, you sprint through like you're in an episode of Scooby-Doo, till eventually you reach the next area. And that's it. The short message repeats this 3 or 4 times until the very end, where the chase section is expanded with a search for key items. It's extremely basic, and by the time you've done 2 of these chases, you can kiss goodbye to any tension during exploration, as your experience informs you on the rules of this game. The chases, while basic, do enough to ratchet up the fear factor, putting you on edge as you sprint to safety, and I have to admit, the monster caught me off guard quite a few times. 2 or 1. Woo! What I'm missing, you know? Oh gosh, right on me! Woo, baby! Is that 2 more or 3 more of these I need, do you think? Oh, good! Sorry. I'm so sorry, chat. And so, unlike PT, which became an icon in the horror genre thanks to its lingering dread, the short message never comes close to eliciting that same feeling. But it doesn't have to. The short message is its own thing, a haunting tale of the human psyche with pockets of otherworldly terror. You're far more likely to be affected by the story itself, rather than the horror on screen. And for me, that's okay. Sure, I would have loved to have had combat, some sneaking here and there as you avoid the monster, but it's not that kind of game. It wants to tell a compelling story, and it achieves that. It's a visually stunning experience which does what all great Silent Hills do. It creates a tale which takes the player on a journey into themselves, into the human condition, and it's one that will stay with you long after you put the pad down. Silent Hill is back. Sure, it may not be in the form I ideally would like. Hell, it's not even set in the titular town. But as a free experience which sets out to invigorate the fanbase, I can honestly say it succeeded in its goal. I'm excited for the future. Survival horror has been on an upswing for years, and now finally, one of the founding fathers has stepped back into the fold. This isn't a survival horror game. It's only partially a horror game, but damn, it's psychological. And that's what separates Silent Hill from its many contemporaries. Welcome back, Silent Hill. You've been missed. And that's it for this review. If you enjoyed it, consider putting a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Silent Hill content in the near future. Have you played the short message? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments and we can discuss it. Thank you for your time. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.